So I wanted to talk about best practices when it comes to crafting a post for your Facebook page. I touched a little bit about this when we were in part one, looking at just the simple task of posting to Facebook. But I wanted to talk about this a little bit deeper and break down kind of what a post consists of. Now, I have found that my best practice is creating content on a website, such as my Hill Media Group website, which I can get to just by clicking this link here, and then sharing that content on Facebook, because this is a relatively long post here, and I can't post this to Facebook. They might see the first paragraph and a half, and if that's not the meat and potatoes of the post, they may never actually see the entire post. And I would want more control over the way that's displayed. I also know that if you post something to Facebook, it's not going to show up in Google search. If somebody does a Google search for, tips to grow their following on LinkedIn, they're not going to get my Facebook post. And that's bad news, because somebody might not have ever heard of me, but they're looking for information that I provided, and I want that to be visibly publicly if somebody's searching for it. And I do that by producing that content on my website and then using social media to further the reach of that content. So I wrote this article, 7 Tips for Growing Your Following on LinkedIn, and I shared it on Facebook, and I shared it on Twitter, and I shared it on LinkedIn. And that drew traffic from those social networks to my website, where they can read my article. And then if they wanted to know more about me, it's easy for them to do that. If they wanted to contact me, it's easy for them to do that. If while they were at my website, they wanted to check out the other services that I provide, it's also easy for them to do that. And maybe even if they wanted to view other posts that I have written, it would be also easy for them to do that, because they can just simply go over and view other posts that I have available. So pretty neat indeed, the way that works. And that is a best practice in my eyes. Now, not every post needs to be made to your website. If you have a short update or something simple, you can simply post that in the form of text. It doesn't have to be some long, written blog or something like that, or an article. If we go over to my photography Facebook page, it's often that I'm posting photos, because that photography is visual, and so uploading photos just goes one in one with my page being about photography. But on occasion, I will post something just in text. You might have to scroll down pretty far to find it, but every now and then I do. For example, my page broke 3,000 likes, and I said, broke 3,000 likes. It's not about the numbers, but it's cool that so many of you care to keep tabs on me. And that resulted in 17 likes, and a couple people posted comments. As you can see, people just being silly, but they're posting comments and liking my post. Whereas some of these photos, I'm able to tag people in the photos, and then their friends are able to see them and potentially like my page. So there are reasons that you would want to post content directly to your Facebook page as opposed to linking out to your website. When you have content to post, such as an article or something like that, post it to your website, share it to Facebook. When you have photos, post them to Facebook so that you can tag the other people in them. We're going to talk about that in a video where I talk about best practices with photos. So you can see there are different ways to do this, and your audience may want different things and respond differently to things. So as you continue to make posts to your Facebook, and you go in and you view those insights, you can see what people are most interested in. When you go and look at reach and you see the different things that people are commenting on, whether they're posts, whether people are liking or commenting. And then you also go and look at your post section and see the types of posts, whether they're a link or a photo or a text post, and see what people are engaging with mostly. It's going to take a little bit of time for you to figure out what exactly it is that people are wanting to see on your Facebook page, but it's not too challenging over time to kind of get a good idea of what people expect and what they respond best to. And you can kind of craft your posts over time, kind of make little changes here and there to see what works out best. And that comes with time. So best practices are just to keep your posts looking clean, such as with this 7 tips for LinkedIn. I have my little introduction here. I have the link. The photo is nice and clear, and it does a good job of kind of conveying LinkedIn and maybe a kind of like a young professional in the photo. That's not me, but a photo of kind of a young professional. The title of the post, the description of the post, it's all there, and it's very easy to see, and it looks nice and clean. There are ways, of course, to post content, whether they're links or text, and it makes it hard to read. You want it to be easy to consume because people scroll really fast through Facebook, and if it's not easy for them to kind of be for it to be noticed, they're going to scroll right past it and miss your post altogether. And I've had that happen. I've had posts that I thought were relatively great, and they got just passed right by because of the way that the content was displayed. You want your images to view full like this. You want your text to be easily read and not be kind of hidden in a group of links or something like that you've added to your post. So before you hit that submit or that post button or that schedule post button, look at your post and think to yourself, is this easy to read? Is it easy? If somebody was scrolling through their newsfeed really fast, would they be able to recognize this post and stop? Would it draw them to stop scrolling and actually think for a second and then maybe tap or click on it to view more and go to your page? Those are questions you should be asking yourself when you're thinking about posting something to your Facebook page.